sitting here at a bar, and this is the I'm at the Victoria Caledonian Distillery, and I'm about to take a tour. They have like a little gift shop here, kind of thing, and they have bottles and t-shirts and all kinds of stuff. And they have little casks like this, and bottles and Glencairn glasses, and all number of cool stuff. So I'm looking forward to this, and it's thanks to you guys commenting and saying that I should do this. Was it Pinto? Yeah, so here I am. I'm going to do this.
So I know you know quite a bit about whiskey, but do you guys kind of know how it's made-ish?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know that it carries
Okay. Well, basically, what we need is we make a sugar water out of malted barley, both whiskey and beer. Although if we're talking about beer, we can also use other grains as well. But for single malt whiskey, we use 100% malted barley. We're basically make a sugar water of some sort in these tanks, and then we're going to ferment that. So basically, allow that yeast to convert into alcohol, and then from there, this whiskey will then pump it over to distills. We'll distill it, it will turn into white spirit, and then it'll go into the cask eventually, and then that cask will sit in the maturation room for a minimum of 3 years, and then we can call it whiskey. But essentially, the very origin of all of our beverages here starts at malted barley. This is some Pilsner malt. Pass this around. You don't have a taste of it, like I don't know. It's quite soft.
Oh yeah.
So what is malted barley? Well, essentially what they do is they take the raw barley and they steep it in water, and it softens the husks and basically converts starches, helps convert the starches into sugars. So it starts the germination phase. But before the little green sprouts sprout up, they'll do something called kilning. So during the kilning phase, they can basically choose to use whatever heat source they'd like to fire their kilns. If they use a dry heat, there'll be no extra flavor that will be put into the barley. So this is, for instance, a dry heat, so you just taste malted barley, basically. But in many parts of Scotland, as well as here on the west coast, we have abundance of this stuff. Any guesses? Okay.
Peat.
That's peat. So peat is basically when you pull it out of the ground, it smells like mud, or it looks like mud. But you can smell it when it lights. There's a campfire-like smell to it. So in Scotland, they use this as a heat source for not only to heat the kilns to malt and toast the barley, but also to heat the homes and do other stuff as well. So this basically comes from a big peat bog, but it's essentially a lot of oil that's congealed with some organic matter inside of it. So this will heat up like a charcoal briquette. That will heat their kilns, and that smoke will then go into the malted barley, and that's how you get your smoky peat whiskies. We'll have later. There's a bunch of paddles that will swivel around and help kind of agitate the barley. There's a fine mesh grate on the bottom to help kind of filter out stuff. But this is where beer and whiskey are starting to separate quite differently.
It's the mash tun right there. Yeah.
So what we're going to do for whiskey is we won't actually use fresh water for the first water that we put in. So we're going to put in 3 waters. And the first one that we use is actually the last one of the previous batch of whiskey that we've made. So this will make a little bit more sense in a second. But essentially there's some residual water in here, some previous water that we've used. And we're going to heat that up, and that will be the first water. That will then put into our grist, and we'll let that grist extract those sugars out of it. And then we'll drain that liquid out, and it'll come back into the tank. And then after that, out comes the second water, and this time it's fresh hot water from that tank right there. And they'll dump that in, and then we'll repeat the same process. They'll drain it out, and it'll come and mix with the first water. And that first and second water are what's called your whiskey wort. That's wort is just a fancy name for sugar water. Barley sugar.
Oil is made that way. Or you use the first water as the third water.
Yeah, so the third water, which becomes the first water, is very confusing. But the reason why is because it has a bunch of complex starches. There's also sugars also in there as well. Because the third water, when you put it in there, there's not a heck of a lot of sugar and starches still left. But we want to get everything out of it. We want to use 100% of the barley as much as we can. So we let it sit there and steep, and then we drain it out, and then that will sit in there until the next batch of whiskey that we decide to make. But yeah, it's basically a nice starter base. It also adds a little bit of complexity as well, or character. And then we'll feed that yeast into our fermentation tanks. And if we're talking about whiskey, they're actually called wash baths. But for whiskey, they add in their yeast, and of course the yeast eats the sugars and produces alcohol. It also produces carbon dioxide, but it also produces heat as well. So, you see these water tubes. These are actually, these tanks are multi-walled. So these tubes will then pump glycol through the system. So basically they're a giant refrigeration tank of sorts. And so what we'll do is we'll add in our yeast to our whiskey wort. We'll wait till that whiskey wort has turned to about 80% alcohol, about 8 to 10% alcohol. And that is called whiskey wash. And we will pump that over to that tank back there. It's called the hot wash charger, and as will be heated up in preparation to be distilled on the stills, and then eventually cast, and then later down the road to make whiskey. So we basically, to make whiskey, you have to make beer. To make your basic barley beer. You don't add hops to whiskey, obviously, but you know it's kind of a similar idea. We're talking a little bit about wood, because wood is really, really important. Wood accounts for about 65% of the flavor of the whiskey. It's a very, very key important part in whiskey production. And this here is a stave. They call these staves. And these are essentially, well, this is a stave from this cask here. This is what's called an STR cask. And this is, if you remember the presentation, there was a gentleman that came up on the screen. His name is Dr. Jim Swan. The guy looked like a James Bond guy. He is basically, this is his proprietary cask. This is his own cask. The entire culmination of his research, all of his research basically went into this cask. This cask is becoming quite famous because in 2015 it won the World Whisky Awards. So the World Whisky Awards are these, every year of course, they have these awards. It's a blind taste test competition. So you don't know which one is which, right? You just taste them and you grade them and you like. But this Taiwanese distillery called Caledonian took the Best Single Malt Whiskey of the Year award. And Caledonian, the Caledonian Vino Brewak, soloist Brewak, basically beat out 10, 15, 20, 30-year-old whiskeys, these older whiskeys. But it was only about 5.5 years old. So it was very, very young. Yet it had the complexity to beat out all these older whiskeys. And part of the reason why it had this complexity was because of Dr. Jim Swan's STR casks. They were also, Caledonian is also a Dr. Jim Swan affiliate. And we have Dr. Jim Swan, we have his exclusivity throughout Canada. So the only people that can have, well, specifically this, the STR cask, as well as his entire cask lineup. So we have some ex-bourbon Maker's Mark casks here. And I mean, ex-bourbon barrels are not rare at all. But Maker's Mark is allegedly a little bit hard to get hold of. And then we have a total of 10 different types of casks. So we have 2 different types of sherry casks, VX and Oloroso. Then we have some ports in that area, and then Moscatel. We even have a Canadian ice wine cask to mature our whiskey in. So we have a lot of different choices.
You don't have any Limousin?
Sorry?
You don't have any Limousin casks?
I do not believe so.
Okay, fair enough.
So essentially what we have here is we have, if you look here, we have this layer of raw oak. And this is American white oak. So single malt whiskey world, or distilleries really, really like what's called American white oak, or Curacao. And so this is American white oak. And this thin red line here this is where red wine has seeped into. So this cask specifically has been used to mature wine in its past. So these used to be used, or these were used to mature bourbon, right? And then we have red wine, and then we have sherry and these casks that have been used once are called first fill casks. That's their kind of their designation. And we really love first fill casks because essentially what that first spirit, or in this case the wine, did is it pulled out all of these greener tones and left us with these just beautiful open tones, and also left us with the beautiful red wine in there as well. So we have those two layers, and then we also have this layer of charring, of course. So what this charring layer does, essentially does three things. The first thing is that it kind of acts as like, it's not really a carbon filter, but I kind of think of it in my head as a carbon filter, where it will convert these kind of, if there are any, convert undesirable notes, like these sulfur notes, into beautiful florals over time as it interacts. The second thing is that it breaks up the surface tension, allows the whiskey to go in there and interact with the wood and the wine itself. And the third thing is that it's basically a caramelization of all different properties inside of the oak. So there's many different types of sugars called hemicellulose, and you also have oak lactones and lignins. And once these properties have become charred, or are charred, they'll impart different characteristics or flavor characteristics onto your whiskey. So it's very, very important. So even if you're making wine, you'll actually, it won't be necessarily charred, it might be toasted, but it's part of how it's made.
Once you use it again, you can use it again to make wine?
You typically, so I'm not entirely sure about the wine worlds, but for the single malt whiskey world, we can use it, typically we'll use them, the first fill, so used once is best in most cases. We can also use it a second time, and we can also use it a third time, but after the third time, it's kind of losing some of the properties from the oak. So what we can do is we can strip the charring off and then re-char it. That's one thing we can do, or we can just get rid of it. But yeah, so basically you have your these cast 4 times.
You can keep using them as long as you put grain whiskey in there.
Yeah, you could do that as well, yeah.
And you leave it in longer to put a larger age statement on there.
That's right. Yeah. And then you can, yeah. But yeah, we're strictly single malt, so
right.
Unfortunately that won't happen.
That's good.
We might sell it to people to make swish. I don't know, but okay. I don't think that's how we'll do it. Pull that spirit out for 3 years, then we can't call it whiskey. We actually have to call it something else. We can call it. We can put something for whiskey, call it a white whiskey if it's just clear.
Call it new make.
You can call it new make, which is the official name of it. Called cleric, which is the Gaelic term for it. And if it's been partially aged, you can add different words and stuff, but you can't call it straight up single malt whiskey. That's all you can. Yeah. So that's kind of the story of our wood.
Yeah.
If you're curious to how they char that,
Still got my beer going.
Picture. That's how they're charring. So Glenmorangie. But so I used to show this picture, and then I was myself confused, and then my people I was touring were also confused because like, well, how do they put it out? What do they use in it? Do they put it in gasoline? And well, eventually one of my one of the people who I toured basically said, well, there's a little bit of light underneath all of them. So what that means is that it's basically, there's no top, there's no bottom, it sits on top of a torch, and the torch goes up, and then chars the inside.
I've seen them do it horizontally too.
Or horizontally. Actually, there's a picture in here about something similar. So there's another version of how they char that. Yeah,
and they just turn the barrel.
Yeah.
They roll it, and they fire it, yeah.
So our first whiskeys will be out in 2019. So in lieu of that, Mike Nicholson, our master distiller with 36 years of experience in the industry, basically batted together some single malts. So we have a blended malt. We have a couple different variations. So this is the Prince Douglas Dram. This is a marriage of 4 Scottish single malts. And they're fully matured, distilled from Scotland, but they've been hand-picked and curated by Mike Nicholson. So now 46% non-chill filtered, but I welcome you guys to grab a glass.
Now these were also. They were vatted in Scotland. I was actually tasting that this morning.
Oh yeah.
And it was vatted in Scotland, then shipped over here.
Yes.
And
partially, yeah.
Yeah, and then vatted again, or was it put in a? They're
bottled here.
They're bottled here, yeah.
And then there's Yeah, so it kind of depends on which whiskey we're talking about.
Okay.
But yeah, that's basically the general idea.
That was
yeah.
particularly the Dougal's Dram, yeah.
Yeah.
What is this?
So that's water.
Oh, yeah.
This is some filtered water. And so what some really enjoy, like myself, is you add a couple of drops of water in your whiskey. And what this will do is it will, well, people say it opens up, or it allows the whiskey to breathe, or whatnot.
It also depends on the whiskey. There's some whiskeys that water does nothing to.
It does nothing to you, or yeah, it does no good to add it, or it's already at certain pretty good dilution ratio, right?
And some of them blossom when you put water in,
Yeah.
but I just drink them neat usually with water on the side.
Yeah. So I mean, it's everybody will taste whiskey differently, but you kind of treat it as you would if you're tasting wine. You know, you get the nose first.
Oh yeah.
And then you go in and you kind of taste it and see how it feels on the palate.
Oh, I need to drink some water to cleanse my palate from the beer.
Okay.
But that's okay.
Right.
I got a bottle at home.
Okay. So yeah, that's adding a little bit of water. What we're doing is we're adding more dilution, right? So at 46%, if we add more water, then it'll go from 46 down to 40 to 30 and like that. And so why we're doing that is because alcohol is an anesthetic, so it will numb stuff. So when it touches your tongue, it will numb your tongue. If it touches, you smell it, it'll numb your nose, right? So in order to taste more of it, more of the diverse flavor, we add more water to it, and that will soften basically the anesthetic properties of the alcohol. Does that make sense?
This is at 46% though.
Yeah.
So I'm usually good until about 51.
Yeah.
And then after that I need to add water.
There's some of them out there. He's actually referring to cask strength whiskeys, which are whiskeys that are about they're about 56%ish, but he's at 46.
No, I'm still tasting beer. That's okay.
So, while you guys try that, I will talk about what these two massive copper stills might do exactly and why they're made. So these are, in general, they're basically giant evaporation machines. We're going to basically add in this beerish slur, this whiskey wash into this still. We're going to heat that up, and alcohol evaporates before water. So we heat it up. And those alcoholic vapors will basically rise up and they'll touch the cool side of the copper neck or up there at the swan's neck, and they'll condense and fall back down. And then they'll heat up again, they'll rise up and they'll touch the cool side of the copper neck, they'll condense back into the liquid and fall down. And keep doing this over and over and over again, and we want to encourage this heating and cooling and condensation action as much as possible, because the reason why these are made out of 100% copper, aside from the brass fittings here, they are 100% solid copper, is because that copper reacts to spirit. Basically, what copper does is it takes out these kind of sulfuric compounds from the spirit. So we don't want, obviously, sulfuric compounds because it tastes very good. So we want that spirit to get in contact with the copper as much as possible. So how do we do that? Well, they basically engineered the still to encourage as much of this reflex action. So there's these are specifically an extra long neck in proportion to the color at the bottom. And it's very, very specific angle, which is 10.5 degrees angle line on, which helps encourage that as well. And eventually, that spirit will escape the reflex action, come down this line on here into this Shelley tube condenser. And in here, there is what some call a snake. But it's not actually. It's a bunch of copper tubing.
It's like a worm tub?
Sorry?
Like a worm tub?
In a way, yes.
Yeah, okay.
But what this will do is that there's copper tubing, and the spirit will join up with that copper tubing, and that copper tubing is then surrounded by cold water. Right? And that cold water is constantly circulating because we want to get as cold as water as possible. Because we want that spirit vapor to condense and cool as fast as possible. So it's kind of like water. So it'll come out going here, and it'll condense back into the liquid. It'll come out of this spout here, and then that spirit will come down into this globe and down to that first square chamber there, that first square tank. So you have the big cylindrical one, and then right beside that is the square one.
Oh, okay. So right in there. So that's your first distillation.
Yes. Correct.
Yeah. And then you...
So, that first still, its sole purpose in life is to produce this first spirit, which is referred to as low wines. And they're about 25% alcohol by volume. About 25%. But we want about 63.5%. And we want to put that into then a cask, and that will then mature and turn into whiskey essentially. So we need to increase the alcohol percentage from 25 to 63. And we also want to basically get rid of all of the undesirable flavors and keep only the best flavors. And we'll do that when we pump those low wines here. We'll do the second distillation. Yes, yeah. They have the same proportions, but as you can see, there's no window on the side. Right, there's no porthole, and that actually. Well, what's your guess of why that exists? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the idea is that we don't, for the beer, of course, we take off the yeast, right, and then we bottle it. But for whiskey, we don't touch the yeast. We actually just ship all of that liquid, that whiskey wash, and pump it into the tank. So yeast is something that loves heat. So if you add more heat, it might get a little bit too active and basically come up and bubble up the column. And that's basically so that Mike can see if it's coming up the neck, then you can turn down the temperature and adjust the temperature and like that. But at this stage, we're dealing with spirit, so we don't really have to see what's going on inside, essentially. But we're going to have our second whiskey. So this is our Among the Heather. Now, would you like me to grab a glass of water?
Yeah, that would be good. That would be very good. Thank you.
Yeah. So what this is essentially very similar to the Prince of Wales Dram. It's a marriage of 4 Scottish single malts. But then we also have Caledonian in there, which gives us which is an Islay distillery. So it gives us our light peat in there. And then we also have Ardmore, and of course Blair Hall and Clynelish. Comparatively to Blair Hall and Clynelish, and then Tina came off choice for the Prince of Wales Dram. Which just sounds like Scottish words to most of us.
Yeah, you know what was funny? I made a video of this one, Among the Heather. I put it on YouTube. And there are guys in Scotland going, I've never heard of this dram, where can I get it? and I said, well, I don't know how far you guys distribute. I mean, as far as I know, it's just a local product still.
Yeah, we're not even in BC yet.
But this?
Yeah.
I pick it up at the Strath.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can get it from the Strath. There's also, I recently learned that Broadmead Village's, I think it's BCL, BC Liquor Store, carries our whiskey as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I think those are the only 2, aside from us, in the world.
So the Strath and the BCL at Broadmead, which are 2 stores that I go to anyway.
Well, there you go.
But I do have some.
Awesome.
But these are the only ones available in the stores at the moment.
Correct. And then we have the 3 other cask strength double malts as well back there.
Which are only available here. Okay. And I could come in any time and buy some if I wanted.
Yeah, we're open 7 days a week as well.
Perfect. I might end up doing that. I bought whiskey last night, so I don't have any money today.
Oh, okay. Yeah. For cask strength whiskeys are actually at a really reasonable price point. They're really thick. I can't remember the last time I bought a cask strength whiskey, but the ones that we have are about $95 before tax.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So it's about 112, 113, yeah, something like that.
Somewhere around.
Because it's 15%. Yeah. Okay.
Unless you're from out of town or out of the country, then you can get your tax back somehow.
I don't know how that works.
Yes, right. So, what we've done, of course, we got our low lines. What we want to do is we're going to distill a second time. What we need to do is where this distill, essentially Mike Nicholson's witchcraft, really gets to work. It's his magic. that happens here at the still, because it's up to him to basically separate the spirit into three parts. These are colloquially referred to as your head, heart, and tails. And your heads are these initial vapors, these first vapors that come off as the still is heating up. And we don't want these because these contain methanol and other undesirable flavors. So what we'll do is we'll go through the system and we'll redirect it to that middle chamber. The first one there is for this first still. The middle one there is for our heads, and also our tails. And then, after the still has got to its running temperature, and those heads are out of the way, out comes the heart. And the heart is, of course, the most important part. And what we want to do then is, what Michael will do is we'll attempt to slow down the process as much as possible. Slow down the drawing of the heart out. And he does this by controlling the temperature. But he wants to slow that heart cut as slow as possible because he wants that, what's referred to as copper condensation. That interaction with the spirit and the copper. He wants the spirit to go through as much of that heating and condensing and cooling, that cyclical reflux action, so to produce beautiful, fruity, and floral whiskey. So he'll take about 3 hours to get the heart cut out, compared to the 8 minutes that it takes to get the head out. So that heart cut will come out, and we'll store it in the final chamber beside the door there. And after that comes tails. The tails contain other undesirable flavors and stuff that we don't want in our whiskey, so those will then be directed into the middle head as well. So your head and tails will be in the middle, and then your heart will be for the last chamber. And all of this redirection of the head, heart, and tails happens here at Spirit Safe. This is a very classic design of the Spirit Safe. And at one point in history, this would be locked, and we wouldn't be able to access it. And a very trick question, but who do you think would be the only person that would have the key to the lock? Yeah, the distiller. It makes a lot of logical sense, you know, because he's distilling, he probably needs access inside. But actually, it was a tax man. This whole structure, of course, was designed to prevent people from stealing untaxed spirit.
Yeah.
Right? So he actually, taxman was a part of the team a long time ago. And so if you look at really, really old photos of some of the older, really old distilleries, like these group photos, everybody would be in there, and everybody would be looking at the camera, and they'd all holding their tools. So the person that was doing the barley malting would have a shovel, because he needed a shovel, and then the master distiller would have a timer or something like that. And then there's some gentleman in the middle that was obviously on purpose positioned at an angle. So he wasn't actually looking at the camera, and he was staring off in the distance. He was wearing compass clothes, and that was the taxman. And he lived on the premise, lived on the distillery, or on the distillery grounds. There was no house. But nowadays, this is basically the helm of the master distiller. This is where the master distiller does most of his work. So the first flow, in the first section, we of course know we're not separating anything, so it's just directly there. But we need to get the head, heart, and tails out of here. We need to separate those. So how we do that is essentially we have the chamber swiveled over here to capture the heads, and we swivel back around to capture the heart, and we swivel back around to capture the tails. And that kind of residual blue stuff is the copper that comes off of the stills. That, of course, doesn't get into your whiskey. But that is basically a reminder that every distillation, every time we make spirit, a little bit of that still is sacrificed and is spent. So distilleries, I'm told that distilleries that work, like these very, very large distilleries, will distill 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if in that case, they actually have to replace their stills about every 25, 30 years, because copper eventually goes away, or yeah, exactly. Which is an interesting story in itself. So that's how he figures that out, or that's how he separates them. And how does he separate them? Well, he basically uses his palate. He has 36 years of intuition and training It has this palate. You're going to taste it. You're going to smell it. You're also going to use these chambers here, which you can fill up with alcohol, with spirit. From here, he can, well, they're bottom built, but essentially you see there's a hydrometer and a thermometer. And with both of these, you can gauge the alcohol percentage. So that can help him kind of discern what stage he's at. And then once all the timings are down, then he has all the timings basically. So that's how he does that. And so we'll have our heart cut. Will be in that final tank. That heart cut is also called your intermediate lines.
That's
And then from there, that tank will then pump that heart cut into that tank over there. It's called the final spirit receiver. And this is where they will start to add a little bit of dilution, because the alcohol percentage that comes off of this is about 70%, 70 to 80%. What they'll do is then they'll pump it into here, and they'll dilute it to 63.5%. And that 63.5% spirit will then go into a cask and go into maturation room, and then 3 years down the road we have whiskey. That's basically the story of whiskey.
Food quick.
Food quick.
Food quick. Food quick.
Food quick.
Yeah.